The Mental Handbook is my highest rated book on Amazon. You can get this book completely for free. Just take care of the shipping at workonyourgameuniversity.com. The link is below. If you already got it, get it for a friend. They need it. Work on your game.
DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation, we're talking about expectations. Positive expectations, negative expectations, maybe neutral, not having any expectations. I'm going to tell you a couple pieces of information, something that may be kind of sobering to some of you, maybe a little bit disappointing to some of you. And let me get the disappointing part out of the way first. All right. Positive expectations does not guarantee that you get a positive result. All right, just in case you didn't know that, positively expecting something to work out does not mean that it's going to work out. But here's some things that I'm going to absolutely guarantee you. Negative expectations guarantee a negative outcome. And neutral expectations, meaning expecting nothing, means you will get nothing in the long run of life. I don't mean just in the short run, like you expect to not make the shot, but then it goes in. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean in the long run of life, if you expect nothing, you get pretty much what you expect in life. All three levels, positive, neutral, and negative. Now let me explain to you about that positive expectation thing. See, positively expecting things doesn't mean it's definitely going to work out, but you can control one thing, the way that you look at things. And the way that you look at things is all based on the way that you think. And what did we talk about in last week's motivation? The way that you think is the first step. That's being. Being leads to doing, leads to having. You can control the way that you see any situation, no matter if it's working the way you want it to, if nothing's happened at all yet, or if it's going in the exact opposite direction. You can always control the way that you think. And when you control the way that you think, you're being the right person. When you're being the right person, everything you do, once you got the right steps, once you had the right strategies, doesn't mean you just do anything. Once you had the right strategies, it will lead to the right result of having. But you can never get to the right result of having until you do the right things with the right mindset. And you can't get the right mindset until you control the way that you think about things. And if you're thinking negatively, you're thinking a negative expectation, you are absolutely guaranteed to get it. And if you're thinking no expectation, that means you're not thinking at all. Guess what? What are you going to get? What kind of results are you going to get from your actions? You're going to get neutral. That's what most people do in life. They go through their whole lives expecting nothing. They have no expectation for what they're doing. They go into action with no expectation of what the outcome is. They start doing stuff with no clear picture on exactly what they want to get from the things that they're doing. And guess what they get? You tell me, what do you get when you have no clear expectation of what you're doing? When you have no clear goal, you don't have a clearly identified objective for the things that you do, what kind of results do you get? You get random results. When you have no kind of real clear picture, you get random results. Which means every once in a while things work out, then sometimes things go terribly, and sometimes nothing happens at all, and it's just going up and down, all different directions at all times. You can't even predict what's going to happen with you next month, or the next 6 months, or within the next 2 or 3 years. You have no idea because you have no expectations, or you have negative expectations. If you have negative, then you probably wouldn't even be watching this. You're probably going backwards. Or if you have negative, maybe you're thinking about turning it around. So I commend you for that. Welcome to the journey. So for all of you out there, the point that I want you to get from this week's motivation is this. Negative expectations guarantee negative. You think negative, you are guaranteed, absolutely 100% guaranteed a negative outcome. If you have zero expectations, you're just neutral. If you want to call it neutral, no expectations, you will get nothing. In the long run, you get nothing. You might get something today. You might lose something tomorrow. The net outcome over the years, over time, is going to be nothing if you expect nothing. When you have positive expectations, it does not guarantee that you will succeed, but it is the only way you can succeed. You cannot get a positive outcome with neutral expectations. You can't get a positive outcome with negative expectations. You can only get it from the positive. The positive doesn't bat 1,000. It doesn't go in every time you shoot it. But it's the only way you can expect it to ever go in is when you're thinking positively. You must replace all neutral and negative thoughts with positive thoughts at all times, even if it's not working out. The experiment you're going to take from this week's motivation is this. Every day for the rest of this week, until you see another motivation video on my channel, another weekly motivation, that means the next 6 days or 7 days starting today, all you're going to do is have positive expectations for everything you do. Which for some of you means you need to start off by having an expectation period. See, some of you are going through life doing things you have no expectation. You don't even know what you want. You're just doing it. You don't even know why. You don't even know the results. You got the do part right. You don't have no idea what the have is. You have no idea what the be is. You just got all this do. You're just all this in the middle. You're doing stuff. No expectation of what you want in the end. No thought process from the beginning of why you're doing it. You're just all in the middle here, doing all this activity in the middle. Where does it end? What is it leading to? What is the point that you're doing this for? That's the step some of you need to take, of getting a positive expectation of what you want. And for the rest of you who maybe you already have a goal, now you got to start thinking positive about it at all times. Even when you fail, you got to think positive. Even when it goes backwards, you got to think positive. Even when you lose, you got to think a positive expectation for the next thing that you do. Now, this is a challenge. It sounds easy, I know. You listen to this right now, that's easy. I can do that. Okay. Let's see you do it for the next 7 days. And I want to hear from you in next week's motivation how it went. Because it sounds very easy, but guess what? If it was easy, y'all know the rest of it. Everybody be doing it. I guarantee you 99% of human beings walking this planet, and that's being generous, can't do this. They can't do it. It's not that they won't, they can't. Because they got so much negativity ingrained in their brain, it's impossible for them to get it out. But hopefully for you, your mind is open enough. And I think if you watch this video for this long, your mind is open enough to try this. If you try it, you can do it. Get it done. Only positive for 7 days. I guarantee you're going to see the world in a completely different way. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Ever wonder what it would be like if you could be more confident on a more consistent basis? What about if you could just brush off the negativity of other people more easily so they didn't stumble you and slow you down? What if you could be more of a leader so that people fell under your influence and followed your direction and your communication? What if you could have more focus on the positive things that you want instead of looking at the negativity and letting that slow you down and put fear in your heart? And what if you could do all of this, tie it all in and make it part of your normal day-to-day life for the rest of your life? Would there be any benefit to that? I think so, and I know you do too. Well, guess what? My new course is called Bulletproof Mindset, and it covers everything I just said and a whole lot more. It's an 8-week course. You can get all the details and get started right now at DreAllDay.com/bulletproof. Check it out, and I'll see you over there. Work on your game. If you're on Snapchat, hit me on the Snap. My Snap name is @Dre Baldwin. You already know how that works. And I got a podcast, if you didn't know. It is called Work on Your Game. It is an everyday podcast where I talk about getting yourself into the right mindset, that bulletproof mindset. Getting yourself seen, heard, known. Getting the exposure you want and making things happen in your life instead of waiting for things to happen to or for you. Subscribe to that podcast. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Make sure you check it every single day. Make sure you're subscribed so you catch the heat. Work on your game. Dre Ball, Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball, Dre Ball, Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball, Dre Ball.